Georgia Governor Brian Kemp has concerned Donald Trump for a while. He is a conservative Republican, but apparently not willing to steal votes for Trump. He rejected the unprecedented plot to try to get a new legislative session convened to overturn Trump's loss in that state. That's the only thing Trump cares about. It's not a clash about policy. It's just this guy wouldn't steal votes for him. So the governor, who stood up to some of Trump's efforts to do that, now ordered to testify. A judge compelling him to talk about the Trump election issues in this probe. It's a procedural victory for that Atlanta DA who recently made Giuliani show up and testify and warned him he's targeted for indictment. Giuliani has not revealed whether he got into details or pled the fifth, which is his right. The pressure continues, though, on other Trump-related witnesses like Lindsey Graham, who we covered at the top of this very broadcast. It's real heat on Trump in a criminal probe where there aren't many cards left to play. It's in a jurisdiction Trump does not control, with local lawyers who know the law, and he needs them, not randos from around the country. And as I just showed you, with judges, not always, but repeatedly siding with the prosecutor on many of these measures. Well, that's enough to keep you busy. Then it's running alongside the federal headaches for Trump with the top secret documents scandal that continues as the U.S. is assessing the damage over the stolen documents, which include those human sources for intelligence gathering, which means real people and spies who risk their lives to gather info. And there are concerns even more records may still be missing. It's been now 21 days since FBI agents seized those documents. And it's also about 10 days since a lawyer who rejected Trump's request to represent him told us about the idea of requesting a more independent special master review of the seized material. We discussed that at the time. It was something that Trump lawyers would have needed to do immediately to work. Well, after that interview, a Trump lawyer did request that very step in a different courtroom, but requesting a special master, which has drawn some support from that judge. But as discussed on live TV at the time, as a practical matter, it's probably too late. That's what we said then. Well, today, the DOJ confirmed it, noting that it's already reviewed the documents that might be filtered out, and it's already put them aside, a, quote, limited set of materials that could contain attorney-client information. Now, it doesn't make a big difference who reviews those materials. A lot of it's government property, which Trump would never get back if it was properly seized. But making the request so late that it is moot is a type of incompetence. And there's some Washington veterans who say that's coming from Trump's lawyers. He's had problems getting lawyers before. We've reported that, but it is measurably worse now. He's out of power. He's facing more serious probes than before. And think about it like this. Even in the worst moments of the Mueller probe, there was no federal legal path to charges, to indicting a sitting president. We emphasize that in our coverage. And I know a lot of you know that because I would be out walking around, and something people would bring up to me more than anything else when we were during the Mueller probe was, why? How can it be that you can never charge a president? And we'd go back and forth, talk about the memo. People knew this. So the worst case then was still better than the worst case now, where Trump faces these possible charges in D.C. and Georgia, with a legal team scrambling to find an argument, as the New York Times reports on today's front page. We reported on Friday about the newly revealed letter from a Trump lawyer, which only came out in the court filing. That's the one Neil was referencing earlier in the show. But that newly revealed letter may have actually done more harm than good for Trump. It locked in writing, in the fact that there was never any standing order to just randomly declassify materials, which I guess is one of the made-up excuses his team later claimed. And the letter really came across as a short 3-page hodgepodge of contested legal theories, which got the law wrong, conflating past powers as president with Trump's role as a private citizen, as the Times reported. And it was more about selling a political narrative than facing the possibility of prosecution.